Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Paint Table. This is my weekly show where you see what I got done, what I'm working on, and what is coming up. So this week was a busy week. Today was the due date for my latest manuscript for Osprey Games. I handed in my manuscript for my first supplement for Last Days, Zombie Apocalypse, which is called Last Days Seasons, which you'll see coming out this fall. So that got done, which meant I was in the studio doing a whole bunch of photography, setting out some stuff for like the interior of the book, like pictures of survivors and zombies and different seasons and stuff. Yeah, and then I did find some time to get some painting done. I painted basically the rest of my units, just a few left, for Monsterpocalypse, and another monster too, which puts me at 4 now for protectors, for a game I've played exactly twice. But never fear, Mike's coming in at lunchtime today for us to throw out another game with his destroyers against my protectors. So you'll see that in, well, the Let's Play went up today, which is yesterday when you guys are watching this. So 2 weeks, every other Friday for the next little while, you'll be seeing some Monsterpocalypse. I'm going to show Owen how to play it today as well, because with 4 monsters, I can now run 2 games. And I'll have Mike leave his dice and his buildings and stuff here. I also got together and cleaned up and primed and based some more Song of Ice and Fire miniatures. Umber Great Axes finally came back into stock here in Canada, so I grabbed a unit, which means people complain I didn't have any. We'll get to see them in action. The jankiness that is Great Axes with a Sworn Sword Captain, just obliterating units. And I built and primed my next Titan for Titanicus, because next week I'll be filming some BFG, some Titanicus, and also some AOS. I'm pretty excited about that. I want to do a 3rd Reaver Titan. I already painted all his arms, so it's really just painting his body and stuff now, which I'll get done over the weekend. So there it is. Let's take a look at what's got done and what's coming up. So first things first, here's the painted pile. I finished off my 4th monster, which is Zor Maxim. This is Silver Ultraman with his cool arm blades and stuff too. He's got kind of a Ultraman meets Guyver thing going on. And unlike the monsters from the Guard, who are just giant robots being piloted by people, the Zors are actually people that grow big. They're kind of like Ant-Man, right? They have the suits that make them grow like super huge. And so the little dudes that are the units for this faction, for the Shadowsun Syndicate, are also just dudes in suits who don't quite grow as big as Zor Maxim does. There is a second one out, which I need to pick up, Zor Raiden, so I can do the double Shadowsun Syndicate as well. And then I fixed up some monsters for them, the Shadowgate, which is a teleporter, and the Sunfighters, which are the shooty attack craft for the faction. I painted up the rest of my guards. I painted up some guard strike fighters with a rocket chopper, who's there to do spotting and remove cover from things. And they are great with Sky Sentinel. That's their whole job, basically. He's their wing leader, and he makes them shoot better and blah, blah, blah. And then I painted up the Dawns and the Brontox. So the Carnodons, who are the little fighty guys. And these are really important to the pterosaurs because Terracon gets feeding frenzy if a friend's nearby, also fighting the same thing he's fighting, which means he does super damage. He does 2 damage instead of 1. So when he's fighting other monsters, he starts off basically with super damage as long as there's a friend nearby, and he forces bad guys to waste attacks, basically killing little guys, or do power moves that kill little guys, because he just wants them nearby. Because then Terracon gets real good at slamming and hitting and doing murdering. Because he could do like 4 damage a turn if he manages to pick you up and throw you into something that also ends up being a hazard landing on fire. So it's bad news bears. And then my Spikadon, who's a little shooty guy down there, and throws spikes at his backs, and the Brontox, who lays eggs and like nests and spits things out. So he goes on power nodes and nests and things, and he's pretty hard to kill. So another 17 models. Yeah, 10, 16, 17. And I've got the Raptix to paint still for these guys, who are the anti-flyer ones, who'll be pretty important when I fight like Martians and stuff. But I just ran out of time. These guys are painted the same way I painted Terracon, which meant black primer, spray with, or airbrush with some like black mixed with green. And I highlighted it with, I think, Castellan green, and the back plates are all highlighted with, I think, Fenris gray, some kind of blue gray, after like a dark gray brush. And just did them in some old school Gojira kind of color schemes. Everything else is pretty much the same as before. These guys in the planes are all airbrushed with Runefang Steel, with just a dot of, what is it, Cowder Sky mixed in, just to blue it up a little bit, give it a nice blue finish. And then it was lined with, what is it, no, gloss, just to give the sort of paneling a little bit more pop. And then painted up with Evil Sun Scarlet and Fiery Orange, Fusion Orange, Fire Dragon Orange. I don't know what year it is, whatever that paint's called now. And there it is. So yeah, there's 17 units. Pretty excited about that. and it does mean that my collection of protectors is getting a little out of control. I'm gonna paint Armadax when he comes out, and Zor Raiden, and I'm calling my protectors done. I think I'm gonna move on to the Martians. And here's some stuff coming up. Of course, first things first, we've got the Umbers, so ready to go and ask some people some questions. They're just primed up with some chocolate brown and just got their grit put in their bases and stuff, ready to get paint jobs, ready to murder. And then over here, all in a sub-assembly, we have my Reaver. I've got the alternate head now because this is the alternate Reaver body, so I've got a different head on him than on the other ones, which is pretty cool. I like that you get a bunch of head options for that. And I think I'll do a little bit more yellow than blue when I airbrush him for next week. Pretty stoked to run 3 Reavers. I think that's going to be neat. I can't remember what maniple does that, but there is one. And I can always run one outside of a maniple as well. But that'll put me at 3 Reavers, 2 Warhounds, and 1 Warlord. I have another Warlord, but I can't find the instructions for him. And I'm not doing that without instructions, so I gotta find those either online or dig them out to build that fool and get him ready to paint as well. And I think that's it. That's pretty much what's coming up. So you got another 17 models, puts me at 150 or something for the year. Getting close to, yeah, we're in March, 2 months in, thought about 150. If I do it 6 times, that's 600, 900. It's not bad. We'll see how we do. See if we break 1,000 this year. I got to do 886, so we're on track. We're doing okay. Yeah, a lot of writing this week. Still doing a lot of writing on another manuscript due at the beginning of April. So just tweaking and writing and emails and pictures and thinking and filming and yeah, a lot of stuff going on. So it's going to be another busy month, and then end of the month. Yeah, is when that's going to be due. So I'm filming a bunch of games next week. Stoked to play some AOS, some BFG, and some more Titanicus. Stoked to play some more Monsterpocalypse this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the Let's Play yesterday. And of course, today I'm also showing off another GMG review. It's going to be Armies, Legions, and Hordes by Dave Taylor. Super cool book about war games collections. So if you want to check that out, you can click the link in the cards or below. And yeah, we'll see you next week for their Witches and Wonders. Sorry, they're on the paint table. We'll see you tomorrow for Witches and Wonders, and next week for their on the paint table. Till then, I'm Ash. Happy reading. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.